Okay, today's September 15th here, and I am with Paul Gervasi. Um, Basically, songwriter, guitarist, singer, and now you've got a movie coming out, or actually not coming out, that's been out. It's called Cherri Future.
It's actually not out yet. We're going to Sundance with it and South by Southwest. We're doing film festivals, and we're trying to get the right distributor and a licensing deal with the movie.
Okay, cool.
So it's actually not out yet.
But recently you just had a debut of it, correct?
We did some 2 private screenings where we screened the movie, and I played some acoustic guitar, and then we did the media drop and did photos after the movie was done. And then we did, we were sort of experimenting, and then we did a screening of it, and Trouble in Heaven played afterwards because we're loud as fuck and people were getting drunk. And then we did the media backdrop photos afterwards. That one seemed to work the best because people drink and have fun, and that was the best experience.
Of course. Now I recently actually got to see the film, and I really liked it because I really liked the storyline that you had, about the music and everything. And what created this moment? What made you put this movie together?
Probably years of frustration, I guess, of not breaking through, and I had to think of something different, a different business model. Instead of being a guy with a CD, I thought, well, when people come see us live, and the more we talked and they got to see our characters, I noticed the more they liked us. And we used to play the Cat Club a lot. Mm-hmm. And as in the movie, Jimmy Fallon used to come see us play, and he used to pull me aside afterwards and tell us how much he liked the band. And something clicked in my mind. I thought, well, maybe if I showed our lives outside just a band, we could just do something maybe special. But I don't want to do a documentary because there's a zillion documentaries out there, and they always look crap. To me, they look kind of crappy.
Sure.
And my film background started maybe 8 years ago, doing film production on mostly music videos and commercials. And I was already like a music producer doing demos and records. So when I learned film, my dad was a photographer too, I learned film really quick, and I was mentored by Jesse Torero. He's known for like soul playing and stuff. I started learning how to do film, and I learned shutter speeds and time and exposures and lenses and how to frame stuff. So I was like, damn, I could buy a camera, because you can get affordable gear now that it looks better than some of the Dirty Harry movies. Yeah. 1080p HD cameras are you can spend $15K and buy a really nice package. So that's what I did. I bought the gear, and I started my own music video company, and I shoot music videos with Royal Rock Films, and we shot a couple shorts, and we shot some commercials, and then I thought, I think I'm ready to shoot this movie, Cherri Future. And some people thought I was out of my mind. You'll never be able to do it. You'll never get the locations. You'll never get the money. But if you're clever, you can figure stuff out.
Sure.
And we started pulling favors, and so I just thought it would be a good idea to make a feature film. I guess the model was sort of like Purple Rain or Rocky. Mm-hmm. And if we could put maybe 7 songs in from Trouble in Heaven, and then put some scenes in between, people may understand what our world is really like, and how much struggles there are, and how much adversities there are, how many things you have to go through, and people do in life anyways. So I thought if people could see that, they might get drawn to the music more and see the band. And it gives us a chance, because if this movie goes to cable, which it will, go to TV or theatrical release, it's going to be good exposure for the band, and it's almost like it'll tour by itself. And then it's just a different way of thinking. We need a different business model for music today.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people don't like what U2 did by giving away the free record, because it really wasn't free. iTunes gave them a lot of money. But you got to give them credit, because they're thinking differently. To just sell a CD nowadays is like, really? Like, that's all you have? And the bands and rock is very much alive. The ones that are surviving right now are the big bands, not the big bands, like Nine Inch Nails, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, because they're good. They're good songs.
Yes.
That's why they're surviving. That's why they're still selling out. For the newer bands to make it, or you've got to do something fresh. And Trouble in Heaven, we're fresh. It's a hybrid of alternative rock and hard rock. I'm not really big on the word metal, but we're offering something fresh, and that's why you got to see Cherri Future.
Yeah, it's really good. I enjoy it. Now, Cherri Future, how did that title come along? What?
I got into the laws of attraction, and I also got into The Secret. It's a book. It's about you have to practice being positive no matter how bad things get. Just practice, because everyone goes through stuff. And again, the movie I wanted to pertain to people that are like a mailman, a mechanic. Everyone goes through struggles in life. So I got into this laws of attraction thing, which is keep your thoughts as positive and pure as you can. Don't get caught up in anything negative. Try and stay away from the negativity. And so I wrote this song one day, Cherri Future. Begin to breathe in, Cherri Future. It's just about being positive and finding out these little secrets to life. Because say you're going through something really bad, or someone dies, or you lose your job, you're out of money. It's gonna pass, and you got to be positive. And I'm not saying that it's easy to be positive when things are tough. It's not. But I thought, I'm going to write this song about what I've learned, and maybe, it's not your typical he loves her, she loves him, they break up. It's not a typical pop, song or lyrical song. It's about the state of mind and gosh, like if you keep thinking in your mind, I can't afford that guitar, but I really want to get it. You keep thinking, or a new car, how do I get that car? Your mind will work on it, and you'll figure a way to get that car, or get that house, or get that girl. That's kind of what the message in Cherri Future is about. So it's bigger than just the band or the actors of the movie. It's the message is just stay positive. I mean, look at all the Rocky movies. Look how he was buried, and like sometimes you think this guy's never going to get back up, and that's kind of the message of it. Yeah. It's not that complicated. It's just. To answer your question, it came from a song, Cherri Future, that I wrote reading those books, and I try and practice my best of being positive. Yeah.
It's a good way to look at it and stuff. You have to be nowadays and stuff like that. It's just you have to take the better side or try to get there and stuff. Location-wise, did you basically stay in Los Angeles to film this, or what were some of the areas that you went to?
Mostly Los Angeles. Yeah, we. You have to stay away from two iconic-looking buildings for legal reasons. We shot a little bit on the Sunset Strip. We passed Rainbow and Roxy a couple times in the scenes. We shot in Beverly Hills. We shot locations where it weren't too noisy, so they were all like carefully planned out locations. The bar scene, which the Cat Club was closed when we shot. We wanted to recreate the Cat Club scene, so we found a bar in Chino, and the owner was real receptive to us having it, and we totally took over and made it look like the Cat Club. So most of the bar scenes are in Chino, and they're supposed to be the Sunset Strip.
Oh, okay.
And then we did film one scene at the Key Club before it closed, so we got that little taste of Sunset Strip in there, and yeah, that's mostly LA. There was one Rick Rossi scene shot in Las Vegas. I think that's the furthest we went, but everything else was shot in Los Angeles.
What about the desert scene?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, because I saw you, because when there's a part in there where it hits you and stuff, and it was kind of like where you're kind of going on your own and stuff to kind of get yourself together.
To death my mom. That was there's a place called Glamis. Near Glamis, there's some sand dunes there. So, funny story. It was just me and one of the producers went, and we wanted to get there around sunset, and we got there too late, and the sun was rapidly going down. And we just set up and set the camera up, and we had, you always have a shot list of what you need to get. And we, she had the camera and the sound, or I think I was running the sound gear, and I actually play live there in the sand. I'm actually really playing.
Oh, okay.
And then I took those tracks home and layered them with some Middle Eastern instruments, or got those sounds at least. It's a very Arabic vibe. I wanted it because, again, I kind of snuck that in because that's a part I'm very in all kinds of music. And I thought, well, it's nothing new. I mean, the Led Zeppelin ventured into Arabic music, but I wanted it for my scene where I was just going to play some flamenco-ish Arabic stuff, and I actually played that at my mom's funeral too. And I thought, well, maybe I'll put this in a sequence where I'm just kind of mourning on a little bit. I'm in a little bit of a tailspin at that point in my life. Yeah. And I just thought, why not do it in the sand dunes? It's paying homage to the Doors too, because they did a scene there.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was I totally forgot about that. That was another location that was far away from LA. Yeah, it's almost on the border of Mexico.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that scene was pretty cool and stuff like that. Because like it says, it was you gathering your thoughts, trying to get things back to where you need to and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
What was it? There's any scene that you kind of particularly like that where you went to or that stood out for you that you think is pretty powerful? I mean, the whole movie really is, but is there something that stands out in the?
There's a couple of them. We talked about having guns in the movie, and I'm not a big gun person. I mean, I just didn't want the movie to be that heavy. It's supposed to be a light, entertaining drama, a little bit of dry comedy, some drama, some struggle, and so I know I'm jumping around.
Go ahead.
The scene where, let's just say, I get confronted by a thug with a gun, I thought, well, I can't, and this is just the way I think. I thought, and I don't carry a gun on me, but I thought it would be cool to make fun of his pants or something, to disarm and use, again, if you really follow the movie, it's using your brain a lot. And I use a psychology to disarm him and get the gun away from him. And I thought that was different. Instead of me pulling a gun or beating him up or running, I just thought, how about if I make fun of his pants and I all of a sudden grab in and I turn the tables on him, which is probably something I would do anyways. It was close to my personality as it could be. And then we start joking about it. And I that scene stands out for me. And we had so much fun. We had Sean McNabb and Kai Morrison, they did that scene with me, and those guys are my true friends. And we were laughing and laughing our asses off. And Diego, my buddy, was DPing it, and he's a really experienced DP, and he's this Spanish guy, and he's, look, the light's not good, Paul. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. So it was a really fun night. We actually shot that whole scene in like 4 hours. We were so on the money. And we were laughing hard, and they were calling, "Hey, Steven Seagal." They thought everyone thought it was funny. So there's so many moments in the film,
Yeah. But like for me, I mean, we've expressed it earlier and stuff like that. Me was like the guitar scene or the guitar shop scene and stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah, with you and your trusty sidekick Chang, who I totally love in this movie, where you guys just your bond that you guys have. But
I think. Yeah, that's a good point to bring up. That scene represents probably the Justin Biebers and how it's not that we hate Justin Bieber. It's like no one wants to see something get dominated, and the corporate labels that are left sort of. It seems like they're just doing cookie cutter music, and it's designed to be safe pop songs and shoving it down everyone's face, and it's on the internet and the radios, what's left the radio and the TV, and some people are just sick of it. It's great for little girls, but I think the frustrating thing for musicians or people, music historians that know music are frustrated by it. Some of these kids don't know real music. They don't know what's up, and some do. But anyways, that scene is to please people who are frustrated with the current status of there's hardly any rock on TV now. It's hardly any rock in any award show, but yet the concerts are selling out. They're sold out. I went to Alice in Chains, was sold out, and then you've got Justin Timberlake going up to Deftones shows.
Yeah.
Well, something's wrong here. It's like the people are in charge are freaking. I don't really care what anyone thinks, but they're sweater wearing hipsters, and they're in charge. It's like sometimes it's the people that are in charge are not rock people, so they don't want rock on there. It's like I want to call them they're just soft ass wimps who want pop or folk rock, which is great, but I don't like to see anyone music dominate everything or get pushed aside. Mm-hmm. And rock has always been there. It's been up and down. It never leaves. It's always there. And the ones who survive are the ones that are fresh and have something to say. I mean, Nine Inch Nails they just get better and better. But you don't hear about them on the radio. You rarely see them on the news.
No.
But you go to the shows and they're sold out.
Yeah.
There's people are frustrated by the off balance and the people are in power. They're pissed, just like our government. I think people are pissed off at the way the government's running things. And our radio stations, my God, what the layers of politics with our radio station is so. Are they ran by people who are non-artists and they just want to? Are they just shareholders? Are they just business people? Because that's what it feels like, and that's frustrating a lot of people. So that scene is supposed to maybe make people feel better, and they're gonna get exposed because I'm exposing it in Cherri Future. You'll see in the scene what happens to this kid, and what happens when you're full of crap and you get called out. And this spontaneous jam happens in this music store, and that's going to strike a nerve with some people. Yeah. And there's already been, I don't want to say who, but there was a prominent rock star who saw that scene was like, oh fuck yes, you're really saying it. You really nailed it in that scene. So
yeah, and I think the more people that see it, hopefully it's going to get the due notice that it should and stuff like that. Yeah. You're going to see a lot of people relate to that scene.
That was a really important statement. That scene is a statement. Mm-hmm. Like kids think that John Mayer's like the badass guitar player. Well, it's like there's been a long list of
there's so
guitar players that would just kill him, like Eddie Van Halen, Jimmy Page, Black Sabbath. I mean, the list of Robin Trower, Ronnie Montrose. There's some kids, and again, there's kids that do know about those bands and the Beatles and Led Zeppelin, and there's other kids who don't know. They think they're inventing the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
Rihanna's not inventing the wheel.
Exactly. So, how can people find you or get a hold of you and find out more about what you're doing and everything?
I guess just Google Cherri Future. It's CHERRI Future. We're on Twitter and Facebook. And there's 2 pages there.
Okay, very cool.
If you Google my name, I think a lot of my music videos, my production comes up. And some of the photos and
Well, I guess I particularly really loved it because I like what you had to say and just how it played along. It shows a lot of different sides of the music. It gets people more in touch with it and stuff of what's actually going on and how bands are struggling trying to make it and everything like that nowadays. Like you were mentioning about radio and stuff, there is not much out there and everything like that. So it's very limited and stuff.
Yeah, so. I mean, just try and, again, this is being positive, just try and think that if it's fresh and you need to think of a different business model to keep it going, and U2's taking a lot of flack, but last time I checked, they're doing pretty good in their account. They're doing the biggest shows in the world.
Exactly, they're doing stadiums.
They're doing stadiums still, and the Rolling Stones. Why are the Stones still doing stadiums? Because they know what they're doing. They have a good business model. And they got good people behind them, and they're keeping it fresh.
Yeah.
So I would.
And that just proves that rock is still alive in a sense because, I mean, Stones have been doing it for, 60 years or so or more?
It's funny. It's in some respects, I think it's kind of cool we're not in the mainstream because it's so special to go. You have to go see a show live or there's only a couple of channels. But if you notice, VH1, MTV's someone should just call MTV and say, look, you're not music TV anymore, so we're
stop with awards.
Yeah, like you're
awards.
really false advertisement with MTV. But if you notice, Viacom owns all these channels, and there's like, what, 10 of them now? I really recommend Palladia.
Yes.
It's all music, it's rock, it's a good mixture. Not saying rock, we have to dominate the world, because I don't think it has to be a competition, but I'm about people who write their own songs, and obviously I like the rock and alternative and the heavy, whatever, but Palladia is a really good channel, VH1 Classic's a good channel, and then we've got That Metal Show. That Metal Show, which people complain about, which I don't understand why, we've got our very first talk show, successful talk show, that talks about metal and rock.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So times it be changing. People, our generation, or older people, are getting in more and more in the position of power to bring these kind of shows forward. So don't give up hope. Things are going to change, and there's going to be another resurgence. There's always been rock resurgence. It's going to come again. Mm-hmm. But I warn bands that people ask me, hey, listen to my demo, listen to my song. I'm like, is it fresh? Is it good? If it's not fresh, if you're just doing the same shit, you're not going to last long.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no room for mediocrity. There's no room for bands that aren't that good. Even you may play a couple shows in town, but if you're not doing something fresh and really putting in to your style, you have to look at your song and say, is my song different? Is it special? Am I copying someone? And the songs I wrote for Cherri Future, all the Trouble in Heaven songs, mm-hmm. are, I want to say they're slightly advanced. They're just modern. They're a hybrid of rock and punk and metal and the bands I grew up with. But I've got my own sound. I think I'm offering something different. So that's why we want to get Cherri Future out and just do something that's kind of different. I actually think we're going to talk to my manager. And I think we might, when the movie comes out, give away the music away for free, but you'll have to pay for the Blu-ray or DVD.
Yeah.
And, we're going to do licensing deals with networks and stuff, but, we want to do merch and stuff, and we want to play live, and hopefully Cherri Future will get us around the world, and we can actually do a decent world tour.
Sure.
So that's kind of the point of Cherri, too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wish you all luck, Paul, because this is something that a lot of people should see, whether they, just love music or bands, to give them more motivation and seeing what they can do to change their outcome or anything like that. But it just shows so much about the music industry in this movie and stuff like that, and takes you along the walk and the struggles
without being boring.
yeah. I mean, it's an everyday life, and you basically throw in everyday life, like I said, with you and Chang, and just the steps that you take to get where you need to and hope to, and stuff. So
I think this should make the average blue-collar worker. I want people to feel good, even if they don't have to be in the music. Mm-hmm. You can be in whatever, you're building roads or something, just to feel good. And I basically wanted to entertain people, and there's a lot of symbolism and messages in the film, and they're all positive. Mm-hmm. Even though this guy gets buried and shit on, and everyone yells at him, it just proves if you keep getting up and fighting, you can have whatever you want. It's like, what are you really willing to? Are you willing to risk it all to get what you want?
Yeah, that's true.
So there's lots of little messages in there.
That's true. Well, I want to thank you for your time, Paul, and everything. I had a pleasure meeting you and talking with you.
You too. We'll see you again soon.
Alrighty, thanks. Take care.